The film begins on a seemingly ordinary morning. April 1st, Dr. Abhimanyu Sood, Sohum Shah, Sisohonan Fuadurts, 22, a renowned but morally ambiguous surgeon, wakes up to a day that will change his life forever. He is a man who has built his career with precision, discipline, and a willingness to make tough decisions, sometimes at the cost of ethics. This day is particularly important because Dr. Sood is on his way to his hospital with Rs 5 crore in cash. This money is crucial for settling a legal case of medical negligence, where a patient died under suspicious circumstances in his hospital. If he doesn't pay off the claimants, his hospital's reputation will be destroyed. His medical license could be revoked, and his entire empire could crumble. As he gets into his car and starts driving, he listens to the radio, which plays an April Fool's Day prank announcement. He smirks, but doesn't pay much attention until his phone rings. The call comes from an unknown number. He hesitates but answers. A chilling voice speaks. Your daughter, Vedika, has been kidnapped. You have exactly 3 hours to save her. The ransom? Rs 5 crore. The exact amount you're carrying right now. Dr. Sood's hands tighten around the steering wheel. His 10-year-old daughter, Vedika, has Down syndrome, and their relationship has always been strained. He had once debated aborting her after learning about her condition, something his wife fought against. Over the years, he provided for Vedika financially, but remained emotionally distant. Now, he is forced to make an unthinkable choice. Use the money to save his daughter, but risk professional ruin. Keep the money for the hospital's settlement, but lose his daughter forever. The voice warns him, no police, no tricks, or she dies. The call ends, leaving Dr. Sood in a state of panic and confusion. As Dr. Sood speeds through the city, he tries calling his wife, Mira, Nimisha Sajayan, Ikautuan Fodier Fadiu Dirituathuans, but she doesn't answer. The kidnapper calls again and orders him to stop at an ATM, withdraw exactly 50,000, and wait for further instructions. At the ATM, a stranger slips a note into his pocket before disappearing into the crowd. The note reads, "Do you know what your daughter means to you?" The question stings. Dr. Sood brushes it off and follows. The kidnapper's next instruction, 2. Drive to an old motel on the outskirts of the city. Inside, he finds a video playing on a loop. It shows Vedika tied to a chair, scared but unharmed. A voiceover plays, "She trusts you. But do you deserve her trust?" Tension builds. Dr. Sood yells into the room, demanding answers, but there's no one there. The next call comes, directing him to leave rough 50,000 $8 at the motel reception before proceeding to his next destination. As Dr. Sood drives, the kidnapper forces him to reflect on his past mistakes. The conversation turns deeply personal. Kidnapper: why did you want to get rid of Vedika before she was born? Dr. Sood: I didn't want her to suffer. I wanted to protect her from a life of pain. Kidnapper: or were you protecting yourself from the burden? This psychological manipulation rattles Dr. Sood. He justifies his actions, claiming he only wanted the best for his daughter. But the kidnapper pushes further, forcing him to confront the truth. He had never really tried to understand Vedika or connect with her. Through a series of cryptic clues and tense exchanges, Dr. Sood starts piecing things together. The kidnapper knows too much about his personal life, his regrets, and his fears. After following the next set of instructions, he arrives at an abandoned school building. Inside, he finally comes face to face with the mastermind, Prasad Tinu Anand, Vedika's schoolteacher. Prasad had been Vedika's favorite teacher, someone who truly understood and cared for her. Unlike Dr. Sood, Prasad had seen Vedika's potential, her kindness, her intelligence, her ability to love unconditionally. Prasad reveals his motives. He had witnessed Dr. Sood's neglect towards Vedika over the years. He knew about the initial attempt to abort her and the years of emotional distance from her father. He wanted to teach Dr. Sood a lesson, to force him to decide what truly matters. Prasad then gives Dr. Sood a final ultimatum: pay the ransom and walk away. proving that money matters more than his daughter. Choose his daughter and let go of everything else. Dr. Sood hesitates. His entire career is at stake. But when he looks at Vedika, bound and frightened, he realizes something profound. He cannot fail her again. With no second thoughts, he throws the bag of money at Prasad's feet and rushes to untie Vedika. Prasad watches silently. He smiles, picks up the bag, but then does something unexpected. He walks away, leaving the money behind. Dr. Sood, holding Vedika in his arms, finally understands. The next morning, Dr. Sood makes a bold decision. Instead of covering up the medical negligence case, he confesses the truth to the hospital board and the media. Surprisingly, public sympathy shifts in his favor. He is no longer seen as a corrupt doctor, but as a father who fought for his daughter. Though his reputation takes a hit, he finds something far more valuable: a real bond with Vedika. In the final scene, Dr. Sood and Vedika sit in a park laughing together. For the first time, there is no distance between them. 1. Moral dilemmas and redemption. Dr. Sood's journey is a redemption arc, forcing him to confront the consequences of his choices and become a better man. 2. Parenthood and acceptance. The film explores the true meaning of being a parent. It's not about perfection, but unconditional love. 3. The value of human life. The film questions society's perception of disabilities. Are children, like Vedika, seen as burdens or as individuals with their own worth? Crazxy, 2025, is an intense, thought-provoking thriller that delivers a powerful message about love, priorities, and second chances. With a tight script, a gripping narrative, and an emotionally charged performance by Sohum Shah, it's a film that lingers in the mind long after the credits roll.